Subscribe. All right. It's simple. Not to this nigga. Of course, to this nigga. But first of all, subscribe to me. Like the video and then share the video. That notification bell. And then like this niggas on his thing, and then hit the subscribe button because I didn't hit it, and then um, well, for now I don't want to be notified for now because I haven't watched the video, so I need to know the video first. And well, it's easy to man, we locking in, bro. Why IShowSpeed in China became such a big problem? Dylan Page.
This week, Speed just stepped into some wild, dodgy territory because he's now
Hey man, first of all, this shouldn't even be a problem. Just because China and America be beefing and shit, it shouldn't make the individuals that live in countries be like, oh shit, because my country hates that country, I shouldn't go there at all because my country hates your country. So I shouldn't be friends with none of y'all. The world doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And hey man, y'all cannot be bashing speed for that, bro. Speed is just it's like traveling to a country just to see sightsee and all those stuff, bro. It shouldn't matter. I'm just there doing my thing.
accused of being a Chinese spy and spreading propaganda. Speaking about China, I got banned on TikTok, and the reason why is genuinely concerning. The United States has begun
Damn.
arresting and deporting students for one very controversial reason. Myanmar was hit with a massive earthquake, and honestly, the before and after
Wait.
pictures are devastating. For one,
U.S. immigration officials arrest Turkish student aimed amid crackdown. A Turkish student attending Tufts University was arrested by U.S. immigration officials in Massachusetts and is being held in detention in Louisiana. Louis, right? Louisiana. Got it. Louisiana. Pronunciation. Pronounce that shit. Yeah,
very
English.
controversial reason, Myanmar was hit with a massive earthquake, and honestly, the before and after pictures are devastating. And Donald Trump said that he is serious about running for a third term. All of that and so much more in this week's one.
I'm not bashing any Americans and all, but I'm starting to feel like Trump being the president is making the country look bad. Like it seems like he's pissing a lot of also his friends, meaning when I say friends, I mean like other countries that's friends with America. I'm starting to think he's also pissing them off. The politics shit.
Video special! Yes, it is 100 videos on
Hey
the
man,
channel.
god damn it,
I
bro.
am very Talk about a strong balloon. Let's get Okay, let's kick today's week roundup off with the situation that Speed has got himself into. Because if you haven't seen, Speed currently traveling China, just like he's done with
Yo, what's wrong with the graphics? Oh, it's ease. Nah, it's ease, Jeffrey. No, it's mine.
countless countries before. But what's interesting about this time is that suddenly people seem to have a problem with it. You see, after he started speaking positively about China, saying that Shanghai, the city looked amazing, the internet started going.
I watched Duke Dennis going to China video. Bro, China does look good. I'm not gonna cap. China does look good. It's, but I mean, I guess almost every city you go to for the first time would look good. Like China, Japan, Dubai. We got South Korea. Bro, they look good. No, I don't mean like staying in it. I don't know about staying in it, but from the outside looking in, it looks good, bro. Even the city lights and all, oh man, the digital world, it looks good, but I myself personally wouldn't live in those cities because I love the nature. So I would be one of those people with farmhouses and just chilling, smelling pig shit.
went crazy. They started accusing him of being paid by the Chinese government to say these things, that he's spreading propaganda, and even that he's a Chinese spy. Speed.
Wow.
A spy. In fact, believe it or not, this got so big that Speed's cameraman, Slips, the man that follows him everywhere around the world, well, he had to make a statement about the whole situation to set it straight. He said, fact, amount of money IShowSpeed has received from Chinese government equals 0. Posting so it can be an actual source. Hi, I'm internal with IShowSpeed team. He is in China at his own expense and will likely take a net loss. Don't know how that's possible, but whatever. But what's crazy though is like, he wasn't accused of, spreading propaganda when he spoke positively about all
other
of the different countries that he's been to prior to China.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
as soon as he goes there and says it, well, he immediately gets cooked. And low-key, I actually wanted to talk about this because I feel like I can relate. As you all know, I went to China myself in December, and I made a video about Chongqing. And this video, I'm not gonna lie, it blew up. I think between Instagram and TikTok, it did over like 100 million, 150 million views. And so many people accused me of getting paid by the Chinese government. Why? Well,
why the fuck would you get accused for, bro? Why don't you, who's accusing people, go to China and go check how it looks, all right, before you say some shit?
Because
Damn,
people
but
don't often go to China. It's just wow, because anyone vlogs Paris. Wow, that's so aesthetic. Someone records in Japan and they're like, wow, they're so respectful, such an amazing culture. And then as soon as someone says something good about China, you're immediately a freaking puppet of the state. Like, come on. We're not on payroll here. We're just impressed that it has a freaking subway that's like as far down as 39 stories. Like a 39-story building. How could you not say that's crazy? Now, to be fair to some of the people, talking about the whole Speed being a Chinese spy, the freaking Chinese embassy.
Wait. We're reading that. The 20-year-old popular American YouTuber, IShowSpeed, has kicked off a journey in China that has already garnered massive global attention, which indicates a broader trend of digital influences bridging cultural gaps and creating alternative channels for foreign audiences to understand a vibrant China. I'm gonna read that again. The 20-year-old popular American YouTuber IShowSpeed has kicked off a journey in China that has already garnered massive global attention, which indicates a broader trend of digital influences, bridging cultural gaps and creating alternative channels for foreign audiences to understand a vibrant China. Okay. All right.
Tweeted about him, and they even posted a bunch of his videos saying like, the stuff that he was doing was amazing.
Hold on, wait, speak Chinese again.
欢迎来成都。
Hey, sweetie, it's working.
Wow.
shit. 忽然天降半天空，西下心下本，到那半家万他干。Just say that.
Hey, bro, I speak Chinese.
So yeah, on that front, it's pretty insane that you got the Chinese government, big up Speed. But I think that has more to do with how insanely popular he is rather than it being a Chinese spy sort of thing. I mean, for example, he signed up to China's version, Douyin, of TikTok, and within just 4 days, he had over 1 million followers. In fact, yesterday's stream, he had 1 million people watching on their YouTube version. I think it's Billy or some shit. But the wildest part about all of this, and I don't even think Speed even realizes it, but he's actually just stepped into some crazy territory. Not necessarily because of anything that he said, but more of like what he's shown. Because for decades, there's been this giant wall of
Speed is a genius on doing that. Speed is a fucking genius. So he be getting money on YouTube, the American version, and Billy or Bing Bang Jing Gong Ting Kong Kong Kong. And he be getting money on that. And he will also be getting money on TikTok and getting money on. Fuck, why did I just forget the goddamn Chinese TikTok? Yeah, I just answered
propaganda
Chinese
separating
TikTok.
China and the West. Both sides painting each other out as the bad guy. But now, partly because of social media, you got creators like Speed walking straight through that wall and essentially showing the world and saying to them, yo, this is what I'm seeing. And that
Yeah.
breaks down everything. It doesn't matter if you're pro-China, anti-China. When someone just shows you a raw, unfiltered reality, it messes with everyone's narrative. And that's probably why people are kind of freaking out about this whole situation, because in just a few hours of live streaming, Speed has accidentally done more to challenge propaganda than most politicians have done in years. And that's pretty freaking powerful. In fact, I'm gonna say it. I mean, the misconceptions
saying
I
anything.
had before going to China were pretty intense. Low-key, I was a little bit even scared to go there. But honestly, I can say, and this is not freaking propaganda, okay, shut up. Traveling there was genuinely awesome. In fact, the only real scary thing about China was realizing and seeing firsthand how advanced they are now. There was even this part in Speed Stream when he was going through this tunnel and he was like, oh, okay, chat, like we're gonna lag, we're going through a tunnel, and then it just never lagged. And he was like, what the flip?
Yo, China's crazy. We're underground and we're not lagging.
And this is exactly what I experienced when I went all the way down to some of these subways. Somehow, they still had internet through all the... I don't even know how they've done that. Oh, and their cars, man. Oh, I mean, it's no
I need to
secret
go,
they have
man.
become the biggest producers and exporters of cars in the world now. You should see the
Yeah.
graph. It is insane. And Speed went in arguably one of their best cars, the Xiaomi. But I've got to tell you, like, they have got so many different ones of these. Elliot and I had to make a 2-part series TikTok because we couldn't fit them all in one. And look, Elliot, he's a
Damn.
Tesla owner, so like, if anything, he's biased towards them. But even he said the cars that we drove in China are just so much more advanced than like anything we've experienced
Hey,
from
man,
Tesla. And the
Asian
reason you don't
countries
even
be
really
going
see them
crazy.
around, especially if you're in America, is that there's like 100% plus tariffs on all of them. And if those things were taken away, a lot of car experts say they would come in and destroy. BYD's new factory is the size of San Francisco. Yeah, now this is starting to sound... yeah, okay. Let's talk about Tiananmen.
What just happened?
Freaking angering both sides now. No, but on a real note, like, some people act like admiring a country is the same as co-signing their government. You can appreciate
not
a
talking
country
about the
without
government.
agreeing with their
With the
politics.
government,
I
yeah.
can say Dubai is futuristic without agreeing with their laws. I can say
Yeah,
Chongqing blew my mind while also acknowledging Chinese censorship. And
Exactly, man. We're not talking about the goddamn laws and no goddamn fucking politics. We just there experience some human interactions with other human beings from across the world and just having fun. That's how it should be. That's how the people should be taking it.
wouldn't even be able to do my
internet.
job if I lived out there. My standard of living would probably be better if I moved to China. But then I'd also have less civil rights, basically no privacy, or freedom of speech. Those two things can exist at the same time. Humans are complex, places are nuanced, but the internet just wants everything, black or white. You're a spy or you're not. So yes, it is possible for Speed to appreciate China without being paid by the government to do so. But then you can also acknowledge that Chinese spies do exist, and Chinese propaganda can be pretty rampant. Anyway, I can talk about this
As
for
well
too
as
long,
American
but point
spies
is, that's
maybe
the story
do
about
exist.
Speed. Let's move on. Because also, in this 100th video special, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but I freaking got permanently banned on TikTok this week. 100%
Man,
serious. And they
okay,
banned my
it's fine.
ass at 14.9 million followers. They didn't even allow me to get to 15. And I'm ready to spill the freaking tea. I
Beans.
think that's the right thing you say on this one. Because let me tell you, this whole situation, weird as hell. So for context, a couple of days ago, I wake up. It's about,
That's what you get for co-signing goddamn China. That's what you get, my nigga. That's what you get.
6 a.m. I'm working on
I
this
laugh
news
in
about the
your
Myanmar
face.
earthquake. I go on my TikTok, and right before I'm about to record, I get the message, your account has been permanently banned due to multiple guidelines violations. Problem is,
corn casserole.
I didn't have one. I had 0 before this notification. So multiple, bit strange. So I'm thinking, maybe it's because I'm in America. But then again, I've posted 2 videos at that point since I was here. The leaked government group chats, and then also the sinking submarine, which we'll get to later. But, before this conspiracies go crazy, neither of those got flagged. It shouldn't have been an issue. And the thing is, the notification didn't even give me, 1, a reason of like what video got taken down, what was the issue, and 2, it didn't give me a chance to appeal. I feel like I'm in China. So, long story short, hours upon hours, as you'd imagine, of stressing, like
jokes,
this
huh?
is my whole career, just getting taken away. But eventually, I got in contact with someone. They said, don't you worry, we'll get your account back for you. Once I do, I log on, and this is what I see. Every single
Holy
one of
shit.
my videos got a community guideline strike. Every single one. And that's what it must have meant about multiple. How about you just rearrange every guideline possible you've violated? How's that possible? Yeah, it's pretty freaking weird. I don't know what was going on, but what we do know is that, what this means is that it wasn't a hack. That's what a lot of people said. This was in fact a moderation issue at TikTok. But if you think about it, what does that even mean, seeing all of this crap? For me, it's two options: human error or machine error. If it's machine error, then it's scary to know that their AI has the permission to unilaterally ban large, verified accounts without any human check.
Yeah, things like these, you need human checkup, bro. It needs human checkup. Or, nah. Yeah, it needs human checkups.
That's crazy. And then on the other hand, if it was human error, let's just freaking pray it was error. What option is there to click to say every video is community guidelines struck? Maybe the human one's more terrifying. I don't even know. Point is, they're both as bad. But the craziest thing about all of this, Daily Mail. They put aside the rivalry for a day to post about it and say, free Dylan Page. Like I was locked up with some shit. And, felt kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, Daily Mail. Don't you be nice to me again, alright? I'm sorry, Daily Mail. I love you, thank you, but I hate you. I hate you and what you stand for. Look. Target is not getting a good rating in my book. Anyway, point is, I'm back on TikTok, and Lord, I pray we do not go again anytime soon. YouTube wouldn't do that to me. Moving on. And we're moving on to, by far, the biggest news of the week, because the scenes coming out of Myanmar right now are genuinely heartbreaking and terrifying. Over 2,000 people have been confirmed to have died after the country was hit with an earthquake so powerful that the effects were felt as far as China and Thailand. This building that you're seeing collapse right now was all the way over in Bangkok. You see, at about 2 p.m. local time, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocked central Myanmar, causing roads to buckle, bridges to crumble, buildings and houses to collapse. And this, gosh, this has got to be one of the most terrifying things ever to experience. Some tourists, as you can see with the videos that Alex is graciously playing for you right now, they were trapped on the top of these high rises while water from the pool, some of them were in the pool as they started sloshing back and forth and spilling over the side.
Yo, that would be scary as shit, bro. You see? Trying to put goddamn pools on the roof and type shit when the pools should be down here. Okay, I'm not blaming, not blaming infrastructures and shit, but you know what I'm saying? Try to be fancy sometimes, get you killed sometimes. Trying to be fancy gets you killed sometimes. Trying to be fancy gets you killed sometimes. This is what you get right here. Trying to be fancy sometimes. Yeah.
And then, get this, that water that fell over the side then hit and swept away people on the floor. Insane. The Red Cross has said that electricity and network lines are down, which is making it hard to carry out humanitarian aid. People at the time of the earthquake could be seen evacuating buildings, running along the street, crouching on the tarmac at the airport, and rescue workers are—
I have a question, yo. Is it safe to exit the buildings? Like, if the buildings are falling, I feel like it's both scenarios is a disadvantage. Either way, inside trapped or you get squashed by the, I don't know, whatever. Outside, these glasses is falling on your head, they just collapses on you.
saying that currently the damage is enormous. The rescue workers say that they are still desperately looking for people under the rubble, but it's 3 days later now, and so they say that there is little hope in finding anyone alive now. And because of that, the AP report that the smell of death is now filling the streets. Sorry, that's brutal, but it's gives you a harsh reality of what's going on right now. And also because of that, the death roll, which stands at about 2,000, is expected to still rise. Over in Bangkok, Thailand, that building that you saw collapse, well, reports say that around 320 workers were on the site at the time, and that around 20 of them got freaking trapped in the lift shafts. Imagine that. 17 of them have sadly passed away. And also a few days later, we've now been able to see the before and after pictures of some of the areas in the buildings that have collapsed. And Alex, I mean, there's not much to say verbally, but Alex, hit him with a montage, I think.
Dude. Ooh, shit. Oh, man.
And to make this whole situation even more devastating, Myanmar has been ruled by a military junta since a coup in 2021, meaning that the state controls all media and often restricts access. Even more devastating, Myanmar has been ruled by a military junta since a coup in
Myanmar's military has seized power after detaining South and other democratically elected leaders. Wait, US President Joe Biden raised the threat of new sanctions, with the UN and UK also condemning the coup.
2021,
Oh,
meaning that the state
2021.
controls all media and often restricts access to the internet, making it information coming out of Myanmar about the full extent of this whole situation very difficult. But also, there's an
Why?
already existing major humanitarian crisis happening in the
Why are they doing that? I don't know. Like, why? That sounds stupid.
country right now.
That
3.5 million
sounds.
people already displaced, 20 million people in need of aid, and this is all before the earthquake even happened. So yeah, really, really sad scenes that happened this week. But of course, as we know more,
Bro. Sometimes, bro. I don't know, man. Life can be. Yo, some people just make other people's lives miserable, bro. Like, that's why other people be killing themselves. Others resort to. Now, because they pissed, now they inflicting violence on other people because other people made their lives miserable. Oh, man. This is sad. This is sad.
I'll keep you guys updated. Moving on. Also this week, the US is now arresting and deporting students. You want to know why? Controversial reason. You see, just a couple of days ago, surveillance footage showed 5 masked agents in plain clothing approach a student in the street. They say to her that she is under arrest, they cuff her and then put her in an unmarked car. As you'd imagine, she was terrified, and she is now being held in detention all the way over in Louisiana. And the thing is, Rumesa is not the only one. At least 6 international students have been arrested or deported in recent weeks for their involvement in either pro-Palestinian protests or anti-Israeli sentiment. Marco Rubio has just said that the US has now revoked at least 3.
And that's what I said, man. Like, American government is making things worse for themselves, man. Oh my God. But I guess everywhere it's like this. Bro, I understand people need to make some decisions. We need people to make decisions. But at the same time, bro, bro, there's ups and downs, dude. Because even if you you have a little bit of sympathy in your decision making, it will cloud your mind into picking something that is
300 foreign students' visas.
I and I understand why a lot of YouTubers or streamers don't actually what is this? Jesus. I understand why a lot of YouTubers, streamers, actors, musicians don't fuck around with politics, bro. Like they don't give any opinions on politics. They just shut the fuck up because they
We
know
do it every day. Every time I
this
find
is
one of these
a
lunatics, I take away their
weird
visa.
You're
space.
saying it could be more than 300
Sure,
visas.
I hope. I mean, at some point, I hope we run out because we've gotten rid of all of them. But we're looking every day.
One of these students, Mahmoud Khalil, just straight up disappeared. Despite him being a graduate student at Columbia University, a legal US permanent resident with a green card, and being married to an American woman who is 8 months pregnant, after organizing and participating in a pro-Palestinian protest on campus, he was quickly arrested and moved without notice from New Jersey all the way over to a detention center in Louisiana. His pregnant wife and lawyer, they couldn't even find him for a while. But here's what's interesting about this situation, because there's no public evidence that he ever committed a crime. In fact, even a White House official said the allegations here is not that he was breaking the law. So you might be wondering, why was he arrested? The Trump administration say that it's about national security. Under immigration law, the Secretary of State can revoke visas or deport non-citizens.
This is an individual who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda, flyers with the logo of Hamas. And this administration is not going to tolerate individuals having the privilege of studying in our country and then siding with pro-terrorist organizations that have killed Americans. We have a zero tolerance policy for siding with terrorists, period.
Now the U.S.
Hey man, shit, bro. I think, fuck. I want to have an opinion, but hey man, when it comes to politics, man, I just think like sometimes America should not be saying things like these because it's somehow contradictory, but that's fine.
US government accused Khalil and those like him of being radical foreign pro-Hamas students engaged in illegal protests. Now, it's also important to note it's not just about being pro-Palestinian. The US say that it's also a crackdown against anti-Israeli sentiment on university campuses. Now, some of the criticism that they are facing for this is questioning why the US is carrying out a crackdown on criticisms of another country, especially since the Trump administration is very much America first, and all you other countries, you need to sort your own problems out. Now, the defense against this argument is like Marco Rubio said.
We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. Because I think it's crazy to invite students into your country that are coming onto your campus and destabilizing it. We're just not going to have it. So we'll revoke your visa, and once your visa is revoked, you're illegally in the country and you have to leave.
This is
I bring you into my house to come eat. And now you fucking around in my house. But wait, what if they actually were studying to become an activist? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's hear my nigga.
where it
what
gets
he
really
has to
tricky,
say.
because on the one hand, the government does have the right to deny visas to non-citizens for genuine security reasons. But on the other
Yeah.
hand, critics argue that if this becomes a way to silence dissent, especially on controversial issues like Gaza and Israel, then it's not just an immigration issue anymore, it's a First Amendment one. So the question is, what do you guys think about this? Are these arrests justified, or is this a step too far? Moving on, because another wild story that happened this week, Trump just said that he is 100% serious about remaining president for the next 8 years, not 4. In an interview with NBC this weekend, he said that he is not joking about running for a 3rd term and that there are methods to go around the Constitution that currently prohibits, as we all know, more than 2 terms. He agreed with the interviewer that said that one method would be for J.D. Vance to run as president with Trump as vice president. Don't think he'll like that status, but and then if J.D. Vance wins, he'd just pass it to Trump. Another problem there, people don't usually like to pass power around willingly.
Yeah, to be honest, if I get the seat, And fucking Trump tells me, yo, you remember who got you this spot? I got you this spot. I'm gonna be like, yeah, man. So what I'm thinking is you just be my advisor. Just whisper in my ears and maybe I will, you know, making it you still in power, but you're not in power. Get it? Like it's like so that I can make you feel make him feel like he's still in power by saying, he's the one controlling from the background, but I'm the face, But if he tries and go forward with it and say, no, man, pass this thing down to me, I'm gonna be like, nah. I'm starting to think that you becoming a terrorist against me. Oh shit, you have a gun? Hey man, you oh shit. Oh shit, you just stole those classified files? Oh shit. And then I leak those files that are classified in his name and then frame him and then get him to go to jail. Or or kill him.
If they've got it. He also said that there are other ways to do it, but when, the interviewer asked him, would you like to elaborate? He said, no. Just straight up no. Now, not only
Why
do
the
experts
fuck
say
would
that
I
this is,
tell you?
close to impossible.
Why the fuck would I tell you how the fuck I go around paid taxes? Why would I give you that information? Now they're gonna come for me. Come on now.
To
Come on,
actually
interview.
happen, but he would also be 87 years old by the end of his third term. But the question is, what do you guys
Fuck!
think? Would you like Trump to remain president until 2033 or not? Speaking about Trump though, he's actually had a busy ass weekend. I mean, he started by announcing a 25% tariff on all foreign cars that come into the country. So that's 125% for China. And this is in hopes that Americans will stop buying foreign cars and buy more American-made cars. He said there's plenty to choose from. He then also switched up on Putin and he said that he is, quote, pissed off with him about how he's dealing with the whole ceasefire situation. He even threatened an up to 50
He pissed off at Putin. Trump threatens tariffs on Russian oil if Moscow blocks Ukraine deal. US President Donald Trump said on Sunday he was pissed off at Russian President Vladimir Putin and will impose secondary tariffs of 25% to 50% on buyers of Russian oil if he feels Moscow is blocking his efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Okay, Moscow is blocking his efforts to end the war. So he's trying to say this bitch ass Vladimir Putin is not trying to end the war. Anyway, Trump told NBC News he was very angry after Putin last week criticized the credibility of Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky or Vladimir and Volodymyr Zelensky's leadership. Fucking Trump has that nigga in the pocket, bro. Trump actually has Zelensky in his pocket. The television network reported, citing a telephone interview early on Sunday. Since taking office in January, Trump has adopted a more conciliatory stance towards Russia that has left Western allies wary as he tries to broker an end to Moscow's 3-year-old war in Ukraine. So if Vladimir agreed on the peace treaty, if he agreed, damn, it just gone dark this quick. Hold on, chat. Yo. Bear with me, bear with me. Nah!
Because in another wild
Nah!
story that happened this week, Trump just said that he is 100% serious about remaining president for the next 8 years. not 4. In an interview with NBC this weekend, he said that he is not joking about running for a 3rd term and that there are methods to go around the Constitution that currently prohibits, as we all know, more than 2 terms. He agreed with the interviewer that said that one method would be for J.D. Vance to run as president with Trump as vice president. Don't think he'll like that status, but you know. And then if J.D. Vance wins, he'd just pass it to Trump. Another problem there. People don't usually like to pass.
Fuck!
Quote,
Where was
pissed
I?
off with him about how he's dealing with the whole ceasefire situation. He even
Fuck!
threatened an up to 50% tariff on countries, not Russia necessarily, but countries buying Russian oil if Putin doesn't make a deal with him within the next month. He then obviously said the thing that we've already covered.
Yo, the reason I'm pissed is because I now have to go back and goddamn fucking watch the part that I don't know where the light switched off. Fuck! 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 The light is also falling right here. Motherfucker! Motherfucker! Fuck! Fuck! Yo, I didn't see that the goddamn cam is looking at me and not at the video and me at the same time. Now I gotta go back to the goddamn shit. I don't even know where it goddamn turned off. And right now I'm streaming alone. Ain't nobody watching to tell me, hey, this shit, yo, you were wildin', bro. Fuck! Subscribe. These are the problems I'm facing at the moment. Just subscribe and I don't know, man. We probably just watch some. Just subscribe and I'm authentic and raw and I'm gonna leave it right here because I ain't finna even go forward because the shit is already fucked up. Was a disaster by the way, and um, I'm sorry, and I'll finish the video. I cannot finish the video because I fucked up. I didn't realize that the camera was actually facing me, and there was no back. The video was not like like you cannot see the video because you just see all of me, and just subscribe to my channel.